Please click the link. What's so funny about drowning this dude in scripture? Come express yourself, sir. Or man, whatever. We giving Doug a little bit of time so he can click the link. A little time for Doug to click. What is it, Velvet? You already showed your colors, no use. What do you mean I already showed my colors? I want to talk about the Bible. I'm either going to cut you up gently or I'm going to machete you. There's not any colors to be shown. What are you talking about? What do you mean I already showed my colors? If you know anything, you would know that I'm one of the easiest Israelites to talk to. That's what you would know. So are you scared or are you just blaming me and trying to make me a scapegoat for the fact that your cojones have not yet dropped? What's really going on? You call someone a cracker and you may have a machete, but I got an actual sword and armor. Well, come on in here and use your armor and your sword. All I'm asking you to do is come in here and state your case. Nobody with an actual sword and armor that believes in defending the faith is going to sit in the chat like a little pom-pom wielder. Show me one black male Israelite from the Bible. You can do it. How about you click the link and stop being a JJ? How about you click the link and deal like a man? Or you just gonna get put on timeout. And then I'll show you archaeology that proves that not only the Israelites had black and brown men among them, but the surrounding nations as well. Dub. It's crazy is because my reoccurring audience, the family, has seen the proof that I can put forward. But you're a newcomer. So come and deal so that we can speak like civilized individuals, or go somewhere where soft men are welcome. But this is not one of those places. You're not going to get verbally abused. If you come in the chat, you're going to be afforded grace and a little bit of patience. But stop making excuses and come on. This is crazy. There we go. Dub, you are welcome to the show. What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Please feel free to Give us your theological position. Introduce yourself.
I can't do that. I mean, that's too difficult. The Bible covers a wide variety of topics. I just hit you up with one in the chat, and I'm interested to hear you give me one.
Like I said, I want you to address the issue at hand, and then I will provide you with archaeology to
Archaeology is the Bible. If you got to go outside of the Bible, then you have issues, my friend.
You said archaeology is not the Bible.
Yeah.
So archaeology is not the record.
Archaeology is record. Can records be fallible? Can records be manipulated?
So this is the flaw in your reasoning already.
No, there ain't no flaw there. I don't see it.
So yes, there's a flaw. There's a big flaw, and I'm gonna show you. You ready? Are you watching the screen?
Go ahead.
So the origin of the word Bible, if we just take it back to its roots, it comes from the word biblios. Can you imagine what the word biblios means?
Collection of books. I'll just say that.
Or, okay, that's pretty good. If we boil it down even more, it's records, right? You have bibliography, you have biography. Biblia is
I'll go collection of books, but I'm not seeing where you're connecting your point to archaeology having some major hinging point.
So the Bible is a record, right?
You could say that.
Okay, so the Bible is a record. Archaeology is a record. The flaw in your logic is here. Prior to certain advancements in archaeology, naysayers of the Bible were able to come and say the Bible's not true. There's no nation on the face of the earth called Moabites. But what happened as people progressed in their archaeological prowess, it was revealed that a nation of people called Moabites that without the Bible, no one would ever hear about before. But archaeology verified and validated the Bible. And why is this important? Is because validation like this turns people to the truth every day. So archaeology definitely should be looked at. And I think that that is the weak point in your logic. So if I look at archaeology that from witnesses that had Israel in captivity make depictions of Israelites that show that Israelites had beady hair like mine and a nose and facial structure like mine, and even more so brothers and hold on, and more so brothers and sisters like me, that would tell me that okay, I do have some idea with some idea of what the Israelites were like phenotypically. And furthermore, archaeology proving that the Canaanites and the Philistines also shared some of those same facial features. So we're still speaking phenotype, but this information is passed on a lot better through archaeology than it is through text. Because I could go to the name of Phineas that shows that his name is associated with being black, but I find that to be rather cheap when I'm looking at a text that comes from a time where most of the world was of dark hue. So anyway, that's why archaeology is important. That's why I'm going to go to archaeology, and you can take it or leave it. But what I want to know from you is what is your theological position?
Again, for me to try to list my theological position is I couldn't do that because the Bible again runs across so many topics. Unless
what's your theological position on the subject?
On the subject of color, there is no difference. On the subject of faith,
of the debate.
Yes. I saw this whole debate a while ago. This was probably about what, a month and a half ago or something.
Yeah, maybe. But what's your position on it?
My position on it is I pretty much tend to agree with Dr. Brown, and I think that the other guy, I don't know, kind of a jackass in a way, but it was his first debate, and for him to be debating Dr. Brown on his first debate is not the best thing to do.
Yeah, he got in his emotions quite a bit. So what was so funny about the concept of drowning him in scripture? I'm just curious.
Because you used the word cracker, so that tells me that you have a position of what I would typically call a Hebrew Israelite, somebody who believes just because of their skin color they have some sort of affiliation with a lineage, and they think they could trace their lineage back to one of the 12 tribes. Now, I don't know that that specifically is your belief, but that would be where you would have to clarify what your beliefs are, and then again, you can point back to the Bible and give me a verse where you could specifically show me a black male Israelite from a
Why does
verse.
it,
Now,
why does it have to be a black man?
for example, hold on one second, because I know,
No,
for
no, no,
example,
no, 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 we're not
I
gonna hold on 1 second because I have to direct my class. Why does it need to be a black male? Why can't it be a black female?
because the male structure was the typical. Uh, it's a paternal system, right? Most of the time, except for a few occasions, it would be that the genealogy would go through the male. Correct?
The genealogy would go to a male, yes, but genealogy and color are not necessarily synonymous, which is why you can have Israelites today in 2024, full-blown Israelites that are white. I do believe that the Jews of old time were dark skinned, but due to the scattering that took place over a couple thousand years, that we are going to have differences in race. But I do affirm that the lineage of Israel is unbroken and that they are still God's chosen people. But whether or not the male or female is black or not, as long as they are a Jew, it should not matter because we have determined that they would still be a Jew by their father. So you should be able to take either piece of proof.
So why did you call the guy a cracker? I'm kind of
Why
baffled.
would not? What does cracker mean? What does cracker have to do with my lineage?
You believe that, well, because again, I'm sure you're familiar with like IUIC, people like that, and they use, actually they're pretty ignorant because they use Song of Solomon verse 1:5
What's wrong with
to
that?
say that that's Solomon. That's not Solomon.
But who is it?
That's actually ignorance. That's the
But
woman who's speaking about. No,
but is she an Israelite?
she's a Shulamite, I guess, is what it's
A,
called, right?
a Shunammite. And do
Shulamite.
you know? Yeah. Do you know what a Shunammite is?
What is it? Go ahead.
A Shunammite is an Israelite, and they're from the tribes of Issachar. It comes from the word Shunem, Strong's H7766. But because we are in the business of proving on things and holding fast to that which is good, I'll just pull it up. Just give me a moment. 2 Kings 4. I think I want verse 36. I would agree that that is a Shunammite speaking for sure. And let me go into this
But it's a
dictionary.
woman. My concern is basically like
It is a woman, but it doesn't matter if she's a woman because she is from the tribe of Issachar and she is from the tribe of Shunem.
so now whether it's a Shulamite woman, I don't believe that Song of Solomon actually verifies that, but that's what I think I've read prior. Now,
What does Shakar mean? What does Shakar mean?
hold on. Now, the reason why that I'm pointing this out is because groups like IUIC, which I know you're familiar with,
Why are we talking about IUIC?
that verse is Solomon, and so they're purposefully
But
lying.
we're not IUIC, and I'm not using the word to say that it's Solomon. So let's just make it simple. It's talking about the Shunammite woman. I just said I agree. But the difference that we're having here is that I do believe that it's talking about her skin color. Otherwise, the sun doesn't come and play a part in it. Now let's just be frank here. If the white man stands in the sun, he does not become Shakar. He doesn't become black. He becomes red. Only dark-skinned people get black in the sun. This is just basic logic, right? So it is talking about color in Song of Solomon. What does the word Shakar mean? I'm giving you an opportunity to be as smart as you feel like you are. What does the word Shakar mean?
Okay, I don't know what that word means, but you say red, right? Because I know that means you think someone's like an Edomite or something, or you know.
No, Shakar does not mean red. Shakar is the word
No,
that
I know it doesn't. I believe that the Shulamite woman is black.
Okay, perfect. So you asked for proof in the scriptures that an Israelite is black. You specified a male, even though being a female has nothing to do. You're inquiring on the phenotype of a blood Israelite. No,
why does the woman say do not look at me with unfavorable eyes because I am black?
It says don't look at the blackness of my skin is essentially what she's saying. Don't judge me based off of it. But look,
why would a male? So you're saying that black males don't like black females?
No, nobody said that.
Okay, well that's why I'm asking. Why would she say don't judge me by the color of my skin?
She's saying because the sun have looked upon me. So she's saying that she is a particular level of black, and she's black and beautiful. That is the stance that she's making. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something. You're going to be forced to deal with it because you asked for something very specific. You remember what you asked?
Yep.
Excellent. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel, and we're going to go to 16, and we are going to go to watch this, family.
Go ahead. Turn it up.
Look at so Jesse sent for him. He was dark.
Can you blow that up, please? Can you blow that up, please?
I'm gonna read it, and you can look it up in the NLT if you would like to.
I read the NASB, so hold up. Let me hop inside real quick.
Oh, yes, so this is NLT that we're looking at, and this is 1 Samuel 16 and 12.
16, 12. Let me get there with you. Hold on.
16 and 12.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. 1 Samuel.
And this is about to get hectic. So for the audience, it says so Jesse sent for him. She's talking about David.
Yeah, I already have my shit. Okay. What is it? 16 and 12. Okay. So
I need you to hang on for a second so I don't have to mute you, but I am still trying to teach a class. It says Jesse sent, and this is talking about David. It says he was dark and handsome with beautiful eyes. And the Lord says, this is the one, anoint him. Now the translations that come beforehand say ruddy, and we always get in a hang up over the term ruddy. A lot of people think that it just means red, but we're going to look at some historical data that would suggest otherwise. But you can go ahead with what you was going to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says ruddy. Ruddy means red, dude. So
no, it doesn't. Watch this.
Go ahead. You can explain to your crowd. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm gonna cut you real quick. This is how I know that. This is how I know that.
Like I said, I got my armor, bro. Go ahead. It's gonna go chink.
What you got is to shut the hell up for a second because you're talking over me.
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
So
it's your class.
This is how I gotta remove Matthew McConaughey for a second. I'm gonna show you something, and then you could come back up when I'm reading this. You slow down, but all praises to the Most High because all of his ancestors are, they're getting the opportunity to learn, and they're gonna be embarrassed because they missed the opportunity. So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen, share screen, and I want this historical source. So look at this, y'all. Now, what you're going to see is you're going to see a page out of Frank M. Snowden Jr.'s Blacks in Antiquity. Why is this important? Is because we're using anthropological studies where we are exploring what's known as semantic range. And semantic range exists because of semantic change, how semantics are used throughout the ages, how they change with time. Hold on real quick. I gotta remove something. Present, share screen. Let's try this again. All right, perfect. So again, this is out of Frank M. Snowden's book. Matthew McConaughey, you ready? It says the most common Greek words applied to the Ethiopians' color were this Greek word right here, and it's compounds. Now, what you'll read earlier on in this book is about how the so-called Ethiopian, or the word Ethiopian is a word that's just there to describe people of darker skin tones. Ethiopic means burnt face, right? It says these Greek words were also found. In Latin, the adjective most frequently used for this purpose was niger. Now, I wanted to hit him with a cheap shot and go to Acts chapter 13, where there was an Israelite named Simon called niger, translated to the black man when you read it in the NLT. It says used also were atar, aquilus, exustus, prestus, fuscus, and prococtus, and not the color, night color, also appeared as equivalents of the various adjectives used to describe the Ethiopians' color. Though describing Ethiopians as black or dark, the ancients recognized that these peoples differed in pigmentation and took considerable pains to record and observe the observed differences. Now, he asked about the Shunammite woman and why she would even mention her dark skin. Well, I could go to sources that say that the Hebrews, they favored the complexion of the clear complected Hebrews. Complexion is not about skin tone, it's about the density or texture of your skin and how the color presents itself. So you could have a dark skin tone with a ruddy complexion. Watch this. Here's historical evidence about how this is addressed. Because again, ruddy it's a reference to complexion, not tone. It says Ethiopians may have looked alike to Philostratus, but not to most Greeks and Romans. Even Philostratus himself described Memnon. You want to read about Agamemnon, of the stories about Helen of Troy and the Iliad and so on and so forth. So he described Memnon as not really black because of the pure black of his skin showed a trace of ruddiness. So it's not about somebody having a red skin tone. It's about the complexion allowing their ruddiness to show forth. Now, Esau was red all over like a hairy garment. And we know how hairy garments were dyed back then. They were dyed in the blood of a bug that came off of a tree in the Levant region. But what we see here is that blackness, the level of blackness that shows on somebody's skin, one way to describe someone whose blood shows forth through their blackness is ruddiness. I would like for you, Mr. B-Dub, to address this. You've been added back to the stage.
What's your question?
Oh, so you wasn't listening to none of that?
Oh, I listened to it. What was your question?
Okay. So what do you think about that source? Because you had alleged that ruddy just means red. But what I read to you is that it's a reference to skin complexion. And that the complexion of someone.
Right. So what you're doing is this accurate to say what you're doing, do you read what's called the Blue Letter Bible?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So instead of using the source of a Blue Letter Bible, you're going to use a source. What was the source you were reading from?
This is Blacks in Antiquity by Frank M. Snowden.
It doesn't sound slightly biased to you, no?
No, it doesn't sound biased to me at all, because what it's doing is coming through Greek texts that address Black identity versus the way that white people describe Black people during that time.
So
Going to show you that, going to show you, hold on, going to show you that how when there's a translation from the italic or romantic languages, or languages that stem from it, that use of the word ready is still going to have those same European concepts in mind. That's what I'm showing you. So it's not a bias, it's looking at texts and demonstrating what those texts say and how they describe Black skin and what words like ruddy come from and what they mean and how they're properly used. So you would have to be able to show me how there's a bias on a white man, furthermore, writing this all down. And
it's right there in the title of the book. You're discounting what the Blue Letter Bible says to go to a source that is going to benefit what you're trying to put across.
So we'll go to the word ready, because
Ruddy's used for Esau. Ruddy's used for
no. Ready is not used for Esau. You're talking about the word need that is used for Esau.
The word ruddy is used for Esau.
Okay. Show me.
Hold on.
So meanwhile, we're looking at the Hebrew word that is translated into ready, which is admoni. Esau as a newborn babe, whence came Edom, accusative. So reddish of hair or of the complexion. What did I just say? I just said that ruddy is not addressing skin tone, it's addressing complexion. And if we are to distinguish between the two, it's talking about the clarity or texture of one's skin versus the tone. And then I went on to demonstrate to you how even in ancient texts, people were able to acknowledge that people could have ruddiness showing forth under their skin, that they can have a ruddy complexion despite their dark skin tone. Then we fast forward and we look at the NLT translation of the description of David, calling him ruddy. It said that he was dark. I don't get where the bias is coming from, but we're going to give you an opportunity to show it.
Yeah, so Genesis 25:25 does say, now the first came forth red. So then if you put, what?
It doesn't say ruddy, it says red.
Correct. Ruddy means red, though, according to the Blue Letter Bible. But that's not going against.
Ruddy does not mean red. How many shades of red are there?
No, you're pitting two.
How many shades of red are there?
There's all kinds of shades of red, man.
Exactly. So when we read the text, and the context leads us to what type of red is being discussed in the text, it says one that's red all over, like a hairy garment. How were garments made red, and what kind of red would that reflect? If we look at the anthropological,
what you're doing is you're pitting two definitions against each other. One straight up saying red, the other one is ruddy, which means red. According to the Blue Letter Bible, and according to what you're reading, it's saying something else. So you're pitting two definitions against each other.
No, I'm pitting one definition against itself, and I'm showing you that context is going to help establish what is being talked about. And so I feel that maybe you weren't listening to all that closely, and that's fine. This is why repetition is key. So It says admoni, and this is with regards to the word red that we're discussing. Admoni, or fully admoni. It says from H11, reddish of the hair or the complexion. Red, ruddy. So there's two ways to go. Really three, because it could be talking about hair or it could be talking about complexion. But either way, it can be used to describe something that's reddish or red. I'm sharing my screen now. So the only definitions that I'm pitting are the ones that are right here in this apparatus that you asked if I use, as if it was going to
now go look up ready and blow your screen
to disagree with me. So you said look up the word. You said look up the word ready, but we are looking up the word that is translated into ready. That's the problem with you, is that you don't understand that. The word that is translated.
Blow up your screen. I can't see what you're doing.
This dude's tripping. Okay, so let me blow up my screen. Esau need all kind of accommodations.
You're so kind.
Okay, so look, is that close enough?
No, more. I need more. I can barely even see that.
All right, you need to get on a computer and you need to look up this Strong's definition, and it's Strong's H132, and it's translated into red sometimes, and it's translated into ruddy sometimes. That's what.
Okay, it's the same. It's the same. Or there's either no way for you to know.
What's the same?
Blow up your screen a little bit more. You just said it's either red or ruddy, depending upon something. Well, you don't know which one it is.
Depending on the context. Depending on the context.
Well,
in the context,
you're going off of a source that is obviously biased. So
we're using the Blue Letter Bible. You just said that you prescribe to the Blue Letter Bible. So are you saying that this is biased?
You just read from the Blue Letter Bible, and that agrees with what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. You just said that ruddy, or you said ruddy means red. The problem with that logic is that admoni does not just mean red. And it's clearly showing you that here in the source that you said to go to. I'm going to have to go through it all over again. The outline of biblical usage. These are the ways that it's been translated in the Bible, red and ruddy. But the definition, meaning the meaning of the word admoni, is that it can mean reddish of the hair or complexion. Red, ruddy. So it's talking about complexion, it's talking about hair in some instances, and the context is what would dictate it. But it can mean reddish, and it can mean red, and it can mean ruddy. Ruddy just happens to address complexion. So when you said Esau was called ruddy, sir, you were wrong, period.
Oh, really? Are you sure about that?
I'm willing to bet your public school education on it. You were wrong about that.
Ooh, all right. So let's go to a different verse now.
No, let's not go to a different verse. Let's not go to a different verse. The definition clearly says what it says. And it says that admoni means reddish. It says that admoni means of complexion. It means red, it means ruddy. So why are there two different definitions being put here? Two different uses, two different understandings. We're going to address that before you pull another scripture. So I'm gonna unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, but you don't get to move the goalpost.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, but here's one. There's there's two things that I'm trying to do here. One of them is to try to catch up with you because I can't see your screen, bro. Like I need to be wearing, having like a microscope to like look at your screen to see what you're pointing to.
Are you near the computer? Are you near the computer?
I'm on a phone.
Okay, so can you type in Strong's H?
Multitask.
Can you type in Strong's H 132 in your phone?
Hold up. H132?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, that's red. That's what it's. Genesis 25:25 uses the same exact word. Odd, right?
No, it's not odd, and this is exactly why I say that the context dictates what is being used. It says the first came out red, and we're talking about Genesis 25 and 25. It says the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So it's talking about how red he was, and he was as red as a hairy garment. Every time Lee does not look red as a hairy garment, nor does every time that you see Adam Lee mean red. Sometimes we're not going to look at the we're still looking at the definition, and I asked you to read the definition, and you stopped at red, even though everybody looking at my screen can see that it means red, reddish. It could mean of the hair or the complexion, and you're sitting here ducking and playing.
I know, I'm not ducking and playing nothing. It says reddish.
So, hair or the question. Since you're interrupting class, now. Somebody in the chat asked a good question. He says, why do you think they're going out of the way to describe Esau and not Jacob? Just out of courtesy and curiosity. Why do you think that is?
Why are they describing Esau and not Jacob?
Right.
I don't know. You tell me.
Very interesting. So we're gonna
deceiver. You want to see another verse? You want to see another verse? Then you go to Zechariah 13:4. Zechariah 13:4.
You said it's describing Esau because he's a deceiver.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, that's his answer. We can't pin him down. That's how you look at the text. That's how you look at the text. Fantastic.
Zechariah 13:4.
So now, real quick, what's wrong with me using the word cracker? What does that have to do with anything?
Because it shows that you have a bias, clearly.
What does me acknowledging your people as a cracker have to do with bias? Are you guys not historically crackers?
Do you not think that is in any way what's the word? I mean, I can call you something and you're going to get what? Offended. So you don't think you're offending me at all?
I don't care if I'm offending you. But what does cracker even mean?
I don't know. What does it mean, my friend?
You don't even know.
Tell me. I knows all the meanings.
So somehow, stupid ass words. That just goes to show the way that you read books. You probably prefer the ones that don't have pictures in them, don't you? You fucking dumb sucker. So you don't even know what cracker means. You want to preach the all that me using the word cracker means that I have a bias over the doctrine, and you don't even know what it means. I think that.
Go read Zechariah 13:4. Why don't we just talk about the Bible, not about crackers? We don't need to talk about that.
You came in here. You said you had an issue with us using the word cracker, and based off of our use of the word cracker, you presuppose something about our doctrine. So I'm asking you, what's wrong with using the word cracker? What does it have to do with that?
Show me one black male Israelite from the Bible, bro.
All right, show me. I tried to stall you out. So
you're running in circles using a biased book to fucking get
you think words are stupid, so slow down because I'm about to read to you. You ready?
Go ahead. Zechariah 13:4. Read.
So turn to Acts 13. No, you asked me a question about showing you a black male in the Bible. So go to
Yeah,
Acts 13. Go to Acts 13. Read along. So it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger. What does that mean?
His name is Niger. It's a name.
No, it's not Niger. It's Niger. But, we don't know anything about these words.
Niger is still a name.
No, it's not. Listen, another white guy is going to say this. Listen close. Listen close. Another white guy is going to say this. And so it seems like you would trust him, right? So let's just listen to what the scholar has to say.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
I'm gonna run it back.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
It's a name.
And what is it? And then this is the cold part. So when it's retranslated, let me just do what I did again. Look at this is the NLT. It says among the prophets and teachers of the church of Antioch in Syria were Barnabas and Simeon.
I have a question. Is that someone's name?
Hey, slow down, because this is gonna miss you.
That's a question. Yes or no? Is that someone's name?
Real quick. Stop talking and asking questions because you're getting more answers than you can digest.
You can't even say no. Yes. Is that someone's name or is that the skin color?
Matthew, hold on. This is among the prophets.
You don't want to answer. Because you cheat. You're a deceiver, bro. Zechariah 13:4. That's you.
You're retarded. Look, this is among the prophets of the church of Antioch, of Syria,
Cut yourself off.
and Simeon called for a black man. Simon's name was not Niger. It's clearly telling you this is what he was called. Simon,
black man.
Why is it translated into the black man?
Where is it translated as such?
See, this is the problem with you Edomites. You just want to run your goddamn mouth like you know something.
Yeah, my ass.
Read the scripture to you. I could read the scripture to you, and you'll talk over it, and then you'll ask the question again like somebody's afraid to deal with you.
No,
you really just no. You're
whatever you want to call it. It means black. That's all it means. It doesn't mean black man.
This is so crazy about it. What was the highest level of school that you finished, if you don't mind me asking?
Doctorate, bro.
A doctorate in what?
In BSing. No, I finished college. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but what was your major? What were your strengths in college?
Getting good grades.
Getting good grades. Okay, I don't know how you did that. You were sucking your professor's winker. I'm gonna just go ahead and remove you from the show because you've just been an insult to your entire. This is crazy. He's banned too. His retarded ass. So he said it just means black, bro. So it says that he was called the black man, right? We're reading that for him plain as day. And then we read a history book. I wanted to give him a chance. I read in the history book how these words are used so that I'm not looking at it in 2024 and putting my own logic on it and just letting that dictate the way that things are. So now I got to put the source back on the screen because, somebody might have been swayed by this idiot. Not to insult y'all, but it can happen. So among the words that are used to describe dark skin is the word niger. In Latin, the adjective most frequently used for this purpose was niger. What purpose? The Ethiopian's skin color. What is an Ethiopian? It's somebody who was from a certain region in Africa. So, to add insult to injury, as far as these Anglo Christians is concerned is that Simon looked like an African. He was African black. That's the whole point of this whole thing. And I was trying to build to this point because it's like certainly we should be able to agree on empirical data, right? But we can't do that with East because he only pretends like he's smart. Blue Letter Bible, and this idiot's still in the comments. Blue Letter Bible says Negro means black. It doesn't say black man. That's because you stupid shit. You don't realize that it's only used to describe skin color. Even now, as we read the source, he can't get it. He's out of here. I can't stand Esau, man. He's in timeout. The other doofus. Let me see. He already knows that he lost the debate. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because we're not here to just hear the sound of our own voice. Yeah, he ain't trying to hear. He that buildeth not with or gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. That's what he was here to do. We're gonna give like 10 more minutes to this and I'm out of here, fam. Like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely are called. The calling of God is irrevocable. You are totally right, and I agree with that scripture. God calls his people to participate in salvation. He calls his people, just as in the parable where Jesus says many are called, few are chosen.
Long live the truth. I don't usually debate, to be honest. I'd rather dialogue because I hate the idea of making my best arguments against somebody that just wants to do the same thing. People don't commonly agree on the truth in those instances. So I try to have discussions with people so that I can have a back and forth that allows me to break down their logic. If I'm talking in front of an audience like this. So I had discussions with him like vocab alone, but not debated him.
And the call went out to everybody to join the feast. But the people that initially were supposed to join the feast, they rejected the feast. And that is the Jews. They have rejected the feast. They've rejected to come to Christ. And then the master says, okay, well, open up the call to everyone.
It says, as far as election is concerned, they're loved on account of the fathers. Election is exclusive. I read every reference to election in the New Testament, that exact Greek word. I read every single reference to it. It says, as far as election is concerned, they're still loved on account of the fathers. You deny that.
No, the calling of God is an invitation.
No, the election. The word election is used in Greek.
It's no. Well,
you said they're no longer elect.
The translators. I'm sorry. Are the translators now dumb? The translators of the scriptures, are they now wrong and you're right? All the translators who translated it calling.
No, there's two separate
translators.
Words. Gabe, they didn't translate it calling. Not a translator did. You got verse 29 confers verse 28.
It says the gifts and callings of God.
11:28. As far as election is concerned, they are beloved on account of the fathers. Verse 28. Verse 29, yes. For the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable. Verse 28, I'm asking you about. Every translation, as far as election is concerned, they are loved on account of the fathers. Why do you deny that?
Yes. So as regards election, I totally agree. We would probably agree here that there are Jews who have been who have been predestined to be saved. I totally believe in predestination. I believe in single predestination, which I believe is the Orthodox teaching on election and predestination. And so, Paul clearly says earlier in verse 1, he says, I'm a Christian. He says, I ask then, has God rejected his people? By no means. For I myself am an Israelite, a descendant of Abraham, a member of the tribe of Benjamin.
He just cut himself. And with that, man, we're done with this we're done with this footage. I'm going to put 30 seconds down on the clock. And, ask your questions, family. Ask your questions. I'm not doing no more smoke for the night. So, man, look, with that, if there are no questions, family, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Damn, bro, just stay tuned in. Just stay tuned in, brother. Any knowledge the Most High gives me, I will impart unto thee. And then if you want to join the ministry, please feel free to hit the email, fireofgodclassroom@gmail.com. Me and the brothers have been going into, we've been going into the Greek culture. We've been going into the New Testament scripture, so-called, and we've been really breaking down these different terms and how they apply to us. And we're pointing out the contradictions between the text and what they're saying in the common Christian logic. That's what we're doing right now. We're leaving no stone unturned. We're making sure that we understand the context of the scriptures, as well as those daggers that brothers and sisters love to see come out. So brothers that want to come do the work, you want to become built up in the spirit, hit us up, firegodclassroom@gmail.com. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Today was good because the family showed up, man. And I appreciate y'all. It's been fun. I don't know what I'm going to go into next week, but I'll tell you what you can do is hit the email up or leave comments on the video. Leave some feedback as to maybe what you want to see us go into next week. I'm going to start doing reactions as well. So please feel free to hit me up and send videos for us to react to. I might start another segment soon, and I might just start doing that right here. Dub, you got to go back to school and learn how to read so you can have a discussion with Fire of God. That's just what you're going to have to do. He's still talking about look at the blue letter Bible. We went in the blue letter. We busted that open. We busted down the history book. You can't forsake one source because it's secular, because it is secular, unless you're saying that the translation is biased, in which the Christian would force his theology into it. But you accuse me of having a biased source. I think that's convenient. But with that, family, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his Son. And I appreciate y'all for stopping through to another episode of The Incinerator. Shalom.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,